We're going to leave that story there to take you live to Sydney now, where the New South Wales Premier, Mike Baird, is speaking to the media.
Cannabis's time has come. We need to get the research in place, we need to get the scientific evidence in place, we need to get the medical evidence in place, and once we have that, we can work out how we can make a difference to thousands of people, not only across this state, but across this country. We've announced today 3 trials, and those trials are wide and expansive, and they're going to look in detail at the benefits that can come to a range of different ailments in terms of medical cannabis. Ultimately, what this is about compassion. It's trying to make a difference to individuals, their families and friends in incredibly difficult circumstances. And if it does provide relief, well, we need to find a way to get that out and to provide that relief to as many people as possible. We'll also be looking around the world, so research that has already been undertaken, trials that have already been undertaken, looking to import that back here to connect into the work we're doing. And as that is understood, well, that helps to turbocharge what we're doing, and at the same time help us to complement in terms of the research required to go forward. So this is an incredibly exciting day, I think, for the people of this state, for many who are in incredibly difficult circumstances, and what we're looking to do is provide relief to them. And I should pay tribute to Dan Haslam at this time, who I understand is doing it tough. And our message to Dan is and thank you for your inspiration and leadership on this issue. Our thoughts go with you as you face your own challenges, but very important day has come about with the New South Wales Government taking significant action because of the inspiration of his and the galvanising force he's provided across thousands of people across this country. I also importantly want to pay tribute to the Health Minister, Gillian Skinner. She's the first Health Minister that has said the time has come to do this properly. The time has come to stand up and make a difference on this issue. And she, together with her team, have been nothing short of inspirational. As I've met with that team, it's very clear they are excited by the difference we can potentially make to thousands of people suffering in the most difficult of circumstances, and they are motivated to help make that difference. Very proud to lead a government, along with Gillian Skinner, that is overseeing these trials, overseeing the potential benefit to thousands of people in these circumstances. It is the right thing to do, and as of tomorrow, these trials are underway. Sure.
Thank you. Yes, as the Premier has indicated, I'm incredibly proud of Dr Kerry Chant, the Chief Health Officer, the Chief Pharmacist and others who, as part of her expert team, have come up with these proposals. There are 3 clinical trials. The first is involving the Sydney Children's Hospital network, where doctors will work with us to develop a clinical trial looking at the effectiveness of derivatives of marijuana to treat children who have epilepsy that can't be treated by traditional means. I know that's great news for those families, and when I was last at the Health Ministers' Council, that was particularly an area which was of interest to other states. The other trials will proceed thereafter, and they will be for people who have terminal illness and whose nausea associated with chemotherapy, for example, cannot be controlled.
So when will people who meet the criteria be able to start taking these treatments?
Look, there is information on the health website about that, but certainly the children's trial will be the first cab off the rank, where 2 doctors, one at Sydney Children's Hospital Randwick, Dr Lawson, and Dr Gill at Westmead will be leading those trials.
So where's the cannabis coming from for these trials?
There are products that are available overseas that could be imported. We're working with the Commonwealth to make sure that everything that we do complies with their requirements. And as the Premier has indicated, if that's not possible, then we are interested in growing a crop under very controlled and strict conditions.
Coming from anywhere in particular?
The overseas cannabis, I believe there's some from Europe and maybe from America.
Now, what do you say to critics who say that there are potential side effects from this treatment?
Look, I have been absolutely clear. This is not about the use of crude cannabis, which does have serious potential ill health effects. This is about looking at derivatives of cannabis that can be useful in treating these conditions. That is why they're clinical trials. There will be very serious researchers and sophisticated mechanisms around those trials to prove their effectiveness.
Do you have a particular time frame as to when you want to hear reports back from these trials?
Well, I think the children's trial will be the first, as I said, because we already have doctors, we already have patients that are interested in participating, but clinical trials have to go through very rigorous ethics standards, controls, have products approved by the Therapeutic Goods Association, TGA, which is a Commonwealth body, so it could take months, if not years.
How long do you think it will take for the first cannabis to be procured for those early children's trials?
Well, if it's a product to be imported, then that will be part of the discussion with the Commonwealth and the researchers. If it's a product to be grown, then I think that'll take some time.
Premier, you refer to something happening from tomorrow. Is that to do with the protocols regarding police and compassion when someone's got a fatal illness?
Well, I mean, there is that, yes, but there's also an indication that we have made that the work is now underway. So we have 3 trials. We are progressing all of them. And we can't solve this overnight. That's an important message. It won't be solved overnight, but we're going to work as hard as we possibly can to bring forward the results of these trials as quickly as we possibly can. There are thousands of people that are impacted by this, but what we need to do is to ensure that we get it right. And yes, we do understand the critics out there that talk about, well, will this work, won't it work? Well, we are getting the best minds in this country, the best minds around the world, to do this work, to ensure that what we are doing and what benefits can be provided are known in the clearest, most concise medical and scientific terms. And once we have that, we'll be looking to implement and roll that out as quickly as we can. But there are many moving parts to this, but this government has made a decision. Enough talk, it's time for action, and that's what you're seeing. From Monday, this is underway.
What is the change regarding police? Can you explain it?
Yes, so the police, we've given formal discretion to the police not to charge terminally ill patients that are in possession of cannabis, 15 grams, but ultimately what we're saying is police are already exercising their discretion to people in this sort of circumstances. We are formalising it. So we're saying we understand the difficult circumstances people in, as the Health Minister said. We need to be in a position, we understand what parts of the medical cannabis are working. There's many potential side impacts, and what we want to do is to do it right, and that's why these trials need to get done. They need to get them done as quickly as we possibly can, and once we have that, then we have a medical base on which to take decisions forward.
But are there some dangers of having this kind of loophole with police practising discretion?
No, it's absolutely right. It's not perfect. You know, we're not in a perfect position. We are balancing families in incredibly difficult circumstances that are telling us that the product is making a difference to people who are terminally ill or other circumstances that they love. In that context, we need to balance, and obviously that's what we're doing. We're giving police a discretion in relation to the circumstances of some of these families while we are getting together the work that we desperately need. So there's some comfort and assurance to families in these positions that we are providing discretion, formal discretion to the police, but at the same time we're doing exactly what needs to be done, and that is let's do the work, let's get the medical basis together, and once we have that, well, there'll be no stopping us. And importantly, we're not just looking to lead the nation, we are bringing the best of research and trial information around the world and bringing it here. This is going to be an incredible opportunity for this state, but it's not incredible in terms of what it does for us, it's incredible in terms of what it does to the families and the people directly impacted and who are suffering.
Well, when you call it a trial, does that limit the number of participants, or it could actually be quite broad?
No, it obviously has to be limited. We expect hundreds of people to take place in the trials, but we do need to ensure they meet the criteria to give the best possible chance of the effectiveness of the trial. So obviously that's part of the work that gets underway on Monday, but no, we expect hundreds of people to participate in this.
And that was the New South Wales Premier Mike Baird speaking to the media about the state government's decision to fund 3 trials into medicinal cannabis. They'll be investing up to $9 million, and the trials start tomorrow. Mr Baird said the trials were based on compassion and trying to help those suffering. They'd also be looking at other research taking place around the world. He said it was an incredibly exciting day for people in New South Wales. We also heard from the state's Health Minister, Gillian Skinner. She spoke on the issue, saying a children's trial would be the first to get underway. She also said that criticism of the treatment was misguided and it wasn't about the use of crude cannabis.